Hey everybody, it is Kelly Baker Heffley. I'm here with Howard Garrett for Democracy Download Episode 2, talking about first-time voting.
Hi, guys, this is Howard. We're excited for you to join us for episode 2 on becoming a new registered voter. We won't hold you long, so let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, Howard, I'm excited about this topic. So I think I served as a democracy fellow at Tennessee State University when I was working on my master's degree, and spent a
Yeah.
lot of time talking to folks about how to become first-time voters. In the state of Tennessee, you can register a couple of different ways. GoVoteTN.gov, our favorite website, you can register
Yes.
there. You can register with paper and mail it into your local election commission office, or what I recommend is that folks go register at the election commission office, especially if you're going to go away to a university, away from your hometown, because in order to request an absentee ballot, you have to verify your identity. So if you register at
Yeah.
the election commission office, you can show them your ID, get registered there, and then you're good to go. You're golden. You can request the absentee ballot, make sure you get to participate.
Yeah, that's the most exciting times. I remember when I registered to vote. Um, Partially, first time was for a Barack Obama, and it was just the ideal moment for me, and it was
Mm.
just historical for me to be able to cast my first ballot for our first Black president.
Yeah.
And I think that moment is also seemed like it's not for the first Black president, but first Black vice president. And there it's kind of a progressive ticket if you really want to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think it's a perfect time for like college students when it comes to voter turnout, because you're on that campus with a lot of your peers. And it's when as you're registered to vote, you have to remember that there is no perfect candidate.
Yeah.
And you have to I would say, start off with issues that matter to you the most.
For sure. Yeah, so I'm a little bit older than you. I remember registering to vote. I was 17. Remember standing in my mom's bedroom, filling out that form, because democracy's always been a big thing in my family. And, little, maybe not a known fact, as long as you were 18 by the next election, you can register to vote at 17. So
Hmm.
I registered, my birthday's in August. I registered because I was going to school and I wanted to make sure that I could go participate. Um, that was in 2000, so that was the year of the hanging chads. Definitely a memorable one for not great reasons, but got to participate. I've been participating ever since, because having my voice heard is important. And you're right, there is no such thing as that perfect candidate, so you've got to find the one that aligns with your values the most. And here in Tennessee, we rank near the bottom at 48th in the nation for voter turnout. I believe we're 38th for registration. So we've got to get out that message that getting to
Yes.
vote, going and participating is really important, especially for young kids, because once you
Yes.
start voting, you generally don't stop. I know I'm an example of that. You're probably an example of that too, that once you start participating, you keep going. So using a little bit of peer pressure to convince your friends to show up and vote, that's okay. Parents definitely need to reach out and then tell their kids to go vote and
Yes.
do all the things that we need to do to get people to the polls. Speaking
It's
of getting to the polls, do you remember what we need to have whenever you show
you
up to go
need
vote?
your ID to
Yes.
be able to, that is the golden ticket for you to
Mm-hmm.
enter into the voting booth. You
Correct.
cannot vote without your ID. You will get a blue card, your voter registration card,
Mm-hmm.
but you will need your ID to verify your identification.
Yeah. So that voter registration card, albeit a cute addition to your wallet, will not get you to the voting machines. You have to have a government issued ID. Student IDs do not work. Even if you go to a government, supported university, you still need to have a driver's license or
Hmm.
some kind of form of identification that's issued by the state of Tennessee. You have to have a Tennessee driver's license. Something that
Hmm.
will work is a passport.
Yeah.
So if you're new to the area, you've updated your voter registration, but you haven't updated your driver's license, bring your passport in, and that will work too. But cannot use things like student ID. Your Costco card won't work. Your Sam's card won't work. Your YMCA card will not work. You need to have that
Hmm.
government issued ID.
Yeah.
Any additional thoughts to add to our conversation today?
I just want to encourage everyone, this election cycle is very important, and pressuring you on responsibility to ensuring that everyone that you are connected with are registered. If even if they are registered, you need to ensure that their voting is still legit, because a lot of people have got purged. So you want to ensure that you're voting, that you're going to be able to vote and it's still valid. Go out into the community, get people registered, inform them. Because like Kelly said, Tennessee has a really low voter turnout. And if we all show up to the polls, we can truly make a difference and get the results that we're looking for. But we have to do our part and ensure that we're making sure that everyone around us is registered and going to the polls.
Right. So govotn.gov, that is the best place to get registered. You can check your voter registration status. You can make sure that you are currently on the rolls. You can update your address and make sure that you are current with where you live and where you've got it registered. govotn.gov. It is the all things resource here in Tennessee. So,
yes,
well, that brings us to the end of the conversation. Howard, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you
thanks
so much for
everyone
having me again.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being on this video or watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, comment down below and we will do our best to respond to those. You may inspire our next video. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good evening.